going on? What is going on? What is happening? What is BEA? Beautiful ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host JLW, and thank you all so much for joining me as we continue on our list for the top 100 greatest cartoons for 2000s kids. Kicking the list off.
Born on the wrong end of the leash, he was a dreamer.
And a little schemer.
A nutty mutt living a dog's life.
But when he'd hear the bell for school, one day he says,
I'll take a chance.
Raise his reach for a pair of pants.
in a glance, school becomes his favorite pastime.
I have buried a bone for the last time.
He says,
I wanna be a boy.
He's so but just being Rover.
I gotta be a boy.
Just what's gonna be a boy.
Turns out he's a regular Einstein, and Leonard is treading a fine line.
Why can't I be a normal kid like any other?
Now Doodlebug, listen to Mother.
I gotta be a boy.
I hate dogs.
I gotta be a boy.
This Powerpuff's gonna be a boy.
I do not wish to be a dog.
Now this Bowser's ready for trousers.
I gotta be a boy.
His nose is wet, but you won't bet. His teeth is wet, he's gonna be a boy.
Yes!
Number 89 is going to Teacher's Pet. Now, let me say this before I continue, because you all didn't say anything about the last 10 on this list. You have now officially gone on the right to say this is the official list. The last episode was your last time to contradict or offer up a different suggestion. This means we're locked in, and this is the official list, and there is no more changing. So 89 does belong to Teacher's Pet. What do we remember about Teacher's Pet? This is what I remember. It was about a dog who wanted to be a real boy, or wanted to be a boy and dressed like a boy and went to school and liked school and was like a kiss up or a kiss ass. I also want to say this about this show. My brother loved this show. In fact, I remember not watching this show, but hearing this show across the room because he had it on. It felt like every damn night. The official word on Teacher's Pet. It was also known as Disney's Teacher's Pet. It's an American animated sitcom produced by Walt Disney. The series follows a 9-year-old boy and his dog who dresses up as a boy. Damn, that sounds exactly like what I said. Really close. It followed Leonard Helperman, a 9-year-old boy in the 4th grade who lives in fear because his mother, Mary Helperman, is his teacher. Because of this, he is often mocked and called a teacher's pet. Get it? Notice the title? Got it? But there's more to it than that. But he wants to be considered normal. Meanwhile, his dog Spot misses Leonard while he's at school and yearns to be a human boy. So on the first day of the school year, he decides to come to class disguised as a new student named Scott Ledready II, who quickly becomes the most popular, influential kid in school. Somebody should have said we should have moved this higher, but you didn't. So here it is, locked in at number 89. You know what time it is? It's time to move on to number 88.
Attention campers, it's time for Camp Lazlo.
There worked a scout who made a friend, and Lazlo was his name. Oh, Lazlo.
Lazlo.
And Lazlo was his name. And then that trio went to camp and turned it upside down. Oh, Lazlo.
Lazlo.
Lazlo. And Lazlo was his name.
88 goes to Camp Lazlo. You know what I remember about this show? I remember this being one of the most annoyingest ass shows to come on television. When this theme song played, it's time for Camp Lazlo, I wanted to turn off the television. I'm putting it on the list because objectively, I understand that there was some good to be found. What do I remember about this show? I remember it had something to do with animals that were humanoid in nature, and they stayed at a camp. And that's what I remember. Officially, though, what do we know about Camp Lazlo? This series is set in a universe inhabited solely by anthropomorphic animals of many species and focuses on a trio of campers attending a poorly run summer camp known as Camp Kidney. The trio consists of Lazlo, the eccentric, optimistic spider monkey, Raj, the timid Indian elephant. Oh, I forgot about his friend Raj. See, I just turned this show off when it came on. I don't know why it's 88, but it had to go somewhere. Did I mention that these bottom 50 are kind of one of those shows that I'm like, they have to go somewhere? Show ran for 5 seasons. 5 seasons. See, this was what was great about the time when these shows were coming out, which, by the way, this show premiered in 2005, in the peak prime time for millennial kids to watch television. But these shows got a long running board, it felt like. Like, they got a long runway. If they made it to air on Cartoon Network, you could get at least 3 seasons, because what were they going to do, cancel you? Number 87.
Moving at speed of sound, quickest hedgehog around. Found ourselves in a situation, stuck in a new location without any explanation. No time for relaxation. Don't wait. Don't think. Just go. Sonic, he's on the run. Sonic, he's number one. Sonic, he's coming next, so watch out for Sonic. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go faster. Sonic, gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go faster. Sonic X.
Sonic X. Now, what's funny about this is that I just had a conversation with somebody, and that episode is going to be released after we reveal the last 10 or the top 10 greatest cartoons for 2000s kids. But I had a conversation with somebody, and we recorded the conversation basically pitting Gen Z cartoons versus millennial cartoons. And the outcome, well, it's up for you to decide who wins that argument. But he had presented Sonic X as a Gen Z cartoon, and I had agreed with him, not really remembering when Sonic X had dropped. Turns out it's on my list, and it dropped in 2003, which makes it firmly a millennial cartoon. What I remember about Sonic X is what everybody remembers about Sonic. It's a blue hedgehog doing blue hedgehog stuff, but fast. This series follows a group of anthropomorphic animals that accidentally teleport from their home planet to Earth after attempting to save one of their friends from their enemy, Dr. Eggman. Separated, Sonic the Hedgehog is saved by a human boy named Chris Thorndike. It's a unique name, I think. Who helps him find his friends while repeatedly scuffling with Dr. Eggman and his robots over control of the powerful Chaos Emeralds. If you remember the Chaos Emeralds, those things that if you collect all of them, for some reason, Sonic turns Super Saiyan. They were just like, whatever they're doing in Dragon Ball Z, do it to the blue hedgehog, make him yellow and his hair grow. Point is, if you love the Sonic games, you should go and watch the show, which is why it's number 87, because there's no way in hell we're going to have a top 100 greatest list for cartoons in the 2000s for 2000s kids that would not include the favorite blue hedgehog that has a resurgence right now, doing great. 86.
Todd and Riley were both so sad. Then they came across a Fleamco ad. They sent away $1.98, got a super spy mom and a daredevil universe dad. Now anytime they come across adults who are sly and denying to fry them and make things bad.
Hello, Fleamco.
Sir, we need a replacement. And fast!
And anytime they want to make a change, modify and rearrange, though it might get kind of strange, make them better, nicer, stronger, faster, smart, and cool, and maybe even lame. Call in the replacements.
Get the replacements.
Just get the replacements.
Call in the replacements. This is another one where look me in the eye. Look, I'm looking you in the eye. Good theme song. Really good theme song. Has that kind of spy laid back theme song. Like there's something about this that when it comes on, you just want to lean back into your couch and melt into it. You know what I'm saying? Not melt into it because your grandma still has the plastic on it, so you're getting cooked into it. What I remember about this show is that it was about a group of kids, couple kids, redheads who got adopted by a super spy family. Or, I'm sorry, the mother was a super spy and the dad was like a daredevil stunt guy. And they would go around on adventures. And if they met somebody that they didn't like, they could call Flimco. And they would be like, we need somebody to replace.
Hello, Fleamco.
Sir, we need a replacement. And fast!
And then they would replace somebody. So if they had a teacher they didn't like, they'd be like, we need a teacher who knows something about alligators. And they would go and they would get Crocodile Dundee and he would be their new teacher. And then, of course, something would go wrong and they need to get rid of that person. That's what I remember. How right am I? I'm pretty sure pretty damn right. Also, you ever just look around in the world and think about people you want to replace? Like, for me, anybody that's currently involved in hiding what happened with the Epstein case, I would like replaced. The premise of The Replacements goes like this. By the way, it premiered in July 28, 2006 to March 30th, 2009. From my 6th grade to my 9th grade year, firmly in millennial category. The opening sequence explains that two siblings, Todd and Riley, lived in what used to be an orphanage with their birth parents, fate unrevealed. So we never learned what happened to their real parents. Kind of like Hey Arnold. Is that on the list? I mean, this list can't be official if it's not on it. Who just knows where it's at? While cleaning the floors, they stumbled across a Flimco comic book containing an ad for the Flimco phone. They mail-ordered the ad and $1.98 for the phone, which allows them to replace any person or animal they desire. So whenever Todd and Riley want to replace, whenever they want to replace someone undesirable, they call Conrad Flim on the Flimco phone via a large button. Flimco immediately replaces the person with someone whom the siblings prefer. Series follows their misadventures as they attempt to better their lives by replacing unwanted people. Only ran for 2 seasons. For this to be number 86, I'm actually surprised because this is a pretty damn good show. The only issue with it for me is that it was one of those that if you didn't have cable, you weren't going to watch it because it was on Disney and it was on the good Disney. Moving on to number 85.
Life begins after school. That's when we bend all the rules. Time to hang with all my friends. We like to be together in a place where we belong. I'm 16, starting to find my way. Got a new job, gonna start at the mall today. Thank God I'm on my own for the first time. I'm 16, life is sweet when you're growing up so fast. You gotta make the good times last. I'm 16. Gotta make the good times last.
Okay, this is probably the weirdest one that I've put on here, right? This is, it's weird because I don't remember watching this all the time. I remember it existing, and I remember every once in a while you would pass by the television and it would be on, and then you would stop and you would roll back and you'd be like, what is this? This hit firmly in the time frame where I was also entering that teenage phase of life. I think it dropped in 2006 or somewhere along there. I would have been moving into middle school, 6th grade. So actually some of this stuff would have been above me. I remember it being about a show about a group of kids who like worked at a mall and basically a day in the life of a bunch of teenagers in some place, maybe Canada, maybe America, maybe England, who knows? But they would work at a mall and they would do things that other 16-year-olds would probably do on television. I don't know if this is one of those shows that skirted that line of it was for kids, but veered into adult territory or made some jokes that you would go like, 16 is a Canadian Flash animated teen comedy drama created by Jennifer Perch and Tom McGillis, which originally aired for 4 seasons and 93 episodes on Teletoon from November 7, 2004 until February 11, 2010. Oh, so all the way. Wait, from what? 2004 to 2010 is not 4 seasons. It also aired in the U.S. on Nickelodeon from December 18, 2005 to May 13, 2006, and on Cartoon Network, along with Total Drama Island and Stoked from October 23, 2008 until June 21, 2010. If you haven't guessed, it's an animated comedy that delves into the themes of friendship, personal growth, self-discovery, and the challenges of being a teenager, especially in 2025, when you're not going to be able to afford a house. College doesn't mean the same anymore. Who knows what the country's going to look like in 5 years because all the jobs might be digitally replaced. Oh, and by the way, we've just added so much debt to your life that you will be literally working into your grave. 85 is where it's at. Moving on to 84.
5 o'clock, get a call to go blading at the skate park down by the mall. But my mom says I gotta prevent hostile aliens from annihilating us all. With the strength of 1,070 men, I guess I really shouldn't complain. Still, I wish I could go for a walk without rusting in the rain. It's enough to drum my brain. So welcome to my life as a teenage robot. The story of my life as a teenage robot. My teenage robot life.
Okay, so here's the thing. My Life as a Teenage Robot comes in at 84. You have to be sort of happy, right? Think about all of the shows we've named so far. At least this one falls above that. It's better than 16, which means that this has to be correct because there's no world where 16 is above My Life as a Teenage Robot. This is also another one, just like The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, where we have a female protagonist lead kicking butt.
I want to say the other word, but apparently I get in trouble and then they take away certain things like your ability to see the video. So I'm just going to say butt.
Kicks a lot of butt. This show, I remember very clearly, was about a teenage robot named Jennifer, something related to her serial number. And she just wanted to be a regular girl or try to be a regular girl. But she was also a robot that had to fight crime and fight evil things that would appear in her town. Kind of Powerpuff Girly, right? Also, I remember there being a creepy episode where like she had got some human skin because she was tired of being like a cold metal robot at school, and she has crushes and stuff like that. She's like, oh, I'm gonna get skin, but the skin turned sentient and it was just creepy. It hung off her all weirdly, and then it like wanted her to do awful things, and so she had to like try to rip it off, and once she did, it kind of like took on a life of its own. And it was a freaky ass episode. I don't remember a lot of episodes. That one stuck out to me. My Life as a Teenage Robot is an American animated science fiction superhero comedy television series created by Rob Renzetti for Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon has a lot of inclusions on this list. I don't think it'll have more than Cartoon Network or Disney, but it's got a lot. It was produced by Fred Rader Studios and Nickelodeon Animation Studio, set in the fictional town of Tremorton. This series follows the adventures of a robot superheroine named XJ9, or Jenny. I said Jennifer, I was close. Jenny Wakeman, as she prefers to be called, who attempts to juggle her duties of protecting Earth while trying to live a normal life as a teenage girl. I feel like I got that one down. We might be getting closer to the point in the list where I'm starting to remember things that make me go, that is why you're that number. Are we that high up yet at 84? I don't think so. I know how to double check it. Let's move on to number 83.
Jump.
This one makes sense. I feel like this is definitely an 83. Am I trying to pit two female protagonists against each other by having Sabrina right above My Life as a Teenage Robot, two badasses? Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to stoke a gender war amongst the women. Why? Well, first of all, she isn't just a cartoon. She started off as a TV show, or she started off as a movie. One of the two. Either way, she has a TV show, live action, that has Melissa Joan Hart, I think. I'm pretty sure, which, come on, how are you going to beat that? You can't. And then you get a movie that also stars Melissa Joan Hart, I think, unless I'm wrong. But I don't think I am, because it's number 83 on the list. This show was about Sabrina, who was a teenage girl who had witch powers because her aunts were witches. Did they give her the powers? Or they just were witches and they helped her with her powers? Where are her parents at? If you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you like this, okay? So that's why it's number 83. Here's the official word on that show, though. Unlike previous incarnations, Sabrina Spellman in this series is depicted as a 12-year-old attending middle school. I think in the other one, she was a high schooler. As in the original comic series, and it was a comic book, come on, My Life as a Teenage Robot is great, but not greater than 83, which is why it had to be below 83. In the original comic, Sabrina lives with her paternal witch aunts, Hilda and Zelda Spellman, and her loudmouth black cat, Salem Saberhagen, all of whom advise, why is it got to be a loudmouth black cat? Why can't it be a loudmouth white cat? 83 is where Sabrina comes in. Well done, Sabrina. Name a show that we've named so far that you would put this underneath. Name it. I'll wait. I have plenty of time. Name the show you put it underneath. I'll wait. 82. Here we go. 82.
It's Maya and Miguel. What they will do next, you never can tell. It's Maya and Miguel, brother and sister and best friends as well. With each misadventure, they're put to the test. Working together is what they do best. Helping their family and friends, that's the start. They make a great team as they each do their part. Can tell. It's Maya and Miguel, brother and sister and best friends as well. Brother and sister, Maya and Miguel.
I don't know what we're doing. I somehow have to explain to you why Maya and Miguel is above Sabrina the Teenage Witch and My Life as a Teenage Robot and Sonic X and Camp Lazlo and Teacher's Pet. There is a reason, and it's innate. It's very clear and it's very obvious. And if you don't see it, you're blind. And racist. Let me see some brown skin, black skin, yellow skin individuals in my cartoons, and Maya and Miguel did that. Now, did it do it the best? No, there's another show that did it better, but that show is way, way higher in the list. So for now, coming in at number 82, it's going to be Maya and Miguel representing for the Hispanic community. What do I remember about Maya and Miguel? I remember that they were a cousin or a brother and sister duo. I remember that they were Hispanic. And honestly, I think that's all I need to remember because I'm not racist. And if you think differently, well, then you need to look in the mirror and figure out what's wrong with you. The official word for Maya and Miguel. It's an American children animated television series produced by Scholastic Productions, aired on PBS Kids Go, which I think is our first PBS Kids introduction. So way to represent Maya and Miguel. From October 11, 2004 to October 10, 2007, had a total of 5 seasons and 65 episodes over 3 years. The series focuses on the lives of preteen Hispanic twins named Maya and Miguel Santos and their friends. The program is aimed at promoting multiculturalism in education, which is why it's so high on the bottom. Premise: the show presents learning as a fun, relevant, and rewarding for all children with a special emphasis on the Hispanic and Latino population, which I'm fine with. Not every show needs to be targeted towards the Asian population. Not every show needs to be targeted towards the white population. Every show should be targeted towards the black population and occasionally a Hispanic or Latino population. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Laugh. Come on. It's okay. You're acting like the times are so tense that we can't make racist jokes right now. Way, way bonito. That makes sense. Shut up. That flowed. You knew what I was saying. Or at least if you spoke Spanish, you did. And if you didn't, well, you're racist. So, 81.
I'm your girl, toughest chick in the alien world. Call me up, I'm your girl, toughest chick in the alien world.
81. Now, if you were paying attention in the last episode and you did your job and listened to the full list, you would have gotten this sneak peek at the end of this and at the end of that episode. So now, right now, put in the time code, say that you knew it beforehand. And I know there's a way for me to check. I'm telling you right now. So if you lie, I'll know. But put it in that you already guessed this. And if you didn't guess it, then I don't know, hit yourself or something softly and look into the camera when you do it, if you have a camera, and then post it for me to see it so I know you did it. This got weird, especially after Maya and Miguel. 81 goes to Atomic Betty. Look, I'm again going on record as saying that so far we've had at least three great theme songs. Atomic Betty is on that damn list. It's one of those upbeat, lifts you up, want to start dancing songs. And again, theme of this 80s grouping is strong female leads, it seems to be. Now, some might argue that why do I have so many of strong, powerful female leads in the bottom in the 80s? I argue, shut up. So Atomic Betty, what do I remember about Atomic Betty? I remember it was about a girl who was a regular middle school girl with red hair. A lot of red-haired girls on this list as well. And she somehow got recruited by a space detective agency or space secret service agency. Somehow she works in space as like a badass fighter. And whenever there's a problem, a galactic problem, they would hit her up on her little watch and she would run off and she'd be like, what's the sitch? Nope, that's the wrong show. But she'd be like, what's going on? And then this alien thing would be like, oh, in the galactical system, milk is running from the fridge and you got to go kill the milk monster. It's an animated television series produced by Atomic Cartoons, Breakthrough Entertainment, and Teleimages Kids, along with the Marathon Group, running for the 3rd season. In Canada, this show, okay, if we were to look at all the countries on this list, Canada is like by and far running away. We are in trouble, America. And now I see why you wanted to make it the 51st states, because you recognize the trouble we had because we didn't even have our own cartoons. I'm sorry, Betty Barrett is a typical girl living in Moose Jaw Heights, a fictional suburb of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, who enjoys school, daydreaming about living in outer space, sci-fi movies, and singing in her band. Unknown to all her friends and family, however, she is also she's a member of the Galactic Guardians, an elite team dedicated to interstellar crime fighting and law enforcement, as Atomic Betty, assisted by her 2 allies, the alien pilot Sparky, green guy, and a robot named X5. She confronts the evil overlord Maximus IQ, who I think is a cat. I want to say it's a damn cat, which makes sense. Cats are evil as hell. Take it from me. No longer are we dealing with shows that are or unremarkable, or we can't remember episodes from. Now we're dealing with shows that everybody should have at least heard of. We're at 81. There's no reason for you to be a 2000s kid and not know Atomic Betty. Now, we're at one of my favorite parts, where we finish off the episode with the closer. The show that comes in and says, I'm a badass, which is why I'm at the end of this list, but also the beginning of the next. Roll it.
Little Bill. Little Bill.
Hello, friend.
You co-signed this list. Little Bill is number 80 on the list. Look here. It's basically Caillou, but black. And if you don't like that, then you're racist. It's the theme of the show. You're either sexist or racist if you don't like the way that this has been structured. At number 80 is Little Bill. Why? One, before he was a creep, he was Bill Cosby, America's father. But he's not the only one that touched women. Jeffrey Epstein apparently didn't touch anybody, or at least he didn't have help touching anybody. There's also Diddy, who apparently only touched people consensually. The world basically is full of touchers. You have touchers and touchies. That's how we're dividing up the world nowadays. So before he became a toucher, we got the brilliant show Little Bill from Bill Cosby that featured a black kid that was bald with a big head who went on adventures in Philadelphia and covered a host of topics, some that were maybe not appropriate for kids shows, but he did it anyway so that we could learn. What's the official word on Little Bill? Little Bill is an American animated educational children's television series created by Bill Cosby for Nickelodeon and Nick Jr. Nickelodeon, Nick Jr. It is based on a Little Bill book series written by Cosby with illustrations by Barnett B. Honeywood. I actually remember going to the library with my mom in Arkansas, the Whitehall Library, and one of the books that we would read together is Little Bill. And there's nothing like having a memory with your parents, your mother or your father, and going through those picture books and just recalling that joy that comes from like making your parents proud from reading, and just like the childhood fantasy that comes from making that stuff alive as your parent protects you. I love that. That's why it's also high on the list at 80. Again, it's a clear, specific list. It makes sense why these shows fall where they fall. Anyway, the show's main character, Little Bill, is a fictionalized younger version of Cosby. The show's executive producer, Janice Burgess, described the character as Little Bill Cosby. Each episode features Little Bill learning a lesson while interacting with his large family and group of friends. The show was developed with a panel of educational consultants. The show is set in Philadelphia, Cosby's hometown. Little Bill's personality was inspired by both Cosby himself and his son, Enos Cosby. Little Bill's catchphrase, "Hello, friend," was originally a greeting that Enos used. Anyway, the point is we're wrapping it up here. That is number 80. So in case you forgot, here is your 80s list. In fact, let's just go straight from the bottom, starting at number 100. Keep up. Number 100, Whatever Happened to Robot Jones. 99, Mike, Lou, and Og. 98, Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. 97, Caillou. 96, Cole Yoko. 95, Max and Ruby. 94, Brandy and Mr. Whiskers. 93, The Buzz on Maggie. 92, Juniper Lee, Life and Time of Juniper Lee. 91, Mucha Lucha. 90, Duck Dodgers. 89, Teacher's Pet. 88, Camp Lazlo. 87, Sonic X. 86, The Replacements. 85, 16. 84, My Life as a Teenage Robot. 83, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. 82, Maya and Miguel. 81, Atomic Betty. And 80, Little Bill. Now, you know what time it is. It's time for me to say goodbye. Thank you all so much for joining me. I was your host, JLW. Here's a sneak peek of a theme song for next week's episode.